Amazon CloudFront Content Delivery Network. Let's see what is Amazon CloudFront. Amazon CloudFront is a web service that speeds up distribution of your static and dynamic web content, such as HTML files or CSS file or any kind of images file to the users. CloudFront delivers content through a worldwide network of data centers called the edge locations. When a user requests content that you are serving with the CloudFront, the request is routed to the edge locations. This edge locations is basically the cache location that provides the lowest latency time delay so that content is delivered to the best possible performance to the users. Now let's learn how to create the CloudFront in AWS. Now let's go into the services and find out the CloudFront. Just click it here onto the CloudFront to create the CloudFront services. So from here, we can create the CloudFront distribution. For creating the CloudFront distribution, we need a bucket as a source files here. So let's check it out that initially before creating the CloudFront, I had created one S3 bucket. Inside that I had loaded 2 files. So here, this one is the S3 bucket I had created, bucket for kid. And inside this bucket, I had loaded 2 files, file1.html and redflower.png. So one is the HTML file and the other one is the image file. I just loaded these 2 files. And now let's move to CloudFront where I will be using it. So here I'm just creating this distribution. So when we are creating the CloudFront distribution, we have to give here origin domain name where I have to select the Amazon S3 bucket, whose content needs to be delivered on edge locations. So here I'm just selecting bucket for kid, which is available into the S3. Here it is just giving the name of bucket for kid. Now here it is optional path. If you can check it, the name of the origin, that one is a bucket for kid automatically coming here. S3 bucket access policies are there. We can just click it here. Yes, use OAI. It means bucket will be restricted only for the CloudFront. It means the bucket should not have the public access. And here I can just give the identity name. Suppose here I had created now new OAI. I'm just selecting this one for origin access identity so that the bucket could be restricted only for the CloudFront. And here I'll just click yes, update the bucket policy. Rest of things, enable origin shield should be no. Now there are certain default cache behavior. These are the behavior related with the edge locations where data is going to be distributed. So here I'm going to take all these things as the default one here. This is viewer protocol policy, HTTP and HTTPS. It means we can see the content onto the HTTP and HTTPS as well. Rest of things here, I'm just taking allows HTTP method, restrict viewer access, everything as the default policy only. We are not going to change these policies. So let's move. Here we can see the price class. Here use all edge locations. It means we are using all the edge locations available into the world. We can change it if we want, use the only North America and Europe for this option also, but currently we are taking the use all edge locations only. Rest of things are optional or default. So let's take the similar one, create the distribution now. Now it will take the time to create nearby 10 minutes, 9 to 10 minutes it will take to create the distribution here. So now we can see here, this distribution will take a time, so we have to wait for that one. So distribution is being deploying right now onto the edge locations. So we can wait now up to till the distribution is deployed on each edge location worldwide. So now we can see here, the distribution has been deployed across all the edge location, and now it has given certain domain name as well. So this one is the distribution domain name. So what I can do, I can just copy this domain name, okay, and just carry this domain name here, and just I can put it here. So right now, if I'm running it here, it is saying certain access denied. So what I have to do here, I have to give the file name which needs to be distributed. So what I'm doing it here, I'm taking the file name from here, from bucket, S3 bucket. This is a file1.html. I'm just giving the same file name here. We're coming here slash this one, file1.html. And file1.html is giving its output. Suppose this is the file1.html I had created, it is just giving the output. Now I can take the second file name here so that I can load the file inside the CloudFront, redflower.png. The same file here I'm just giving. This is the file. So basically these files are being loaded through the edge locations. These files are not loaded from the server. They are loaded from the edge location. It means it is just looking the nearby locations where the user is sitting. From there it is loading. So that's why it is very speedy to be loaded, and it is providing very less time latency to load. So in this way we work with the CloudFront. We can see here this CloudFront, and if we need to disable this, we can select this CloudFront. We can disable them, and once we are disabling them, so CloudFront will be no more working. We can see it here, it is just taking time to be disabled. And once they are disabled, then we can delete those CloudFront as well. So it is taking time here, let's see. And once it is disabled, then we can delete these CloudFronts. That's all for the CloudFront.